Okay, so I'm going to try and explain the fastest native fortress cycle in this video, and I might explain some other options if you can't quite catch this cycle. So I'm just going to be going through how I play the level in my PV and just pausing to explain things as I go because I don't know how to edit videos. So sorry, this is going to be not the best, but let's just start. I'm probably going to be pausing a lot. I'm just going to explain everything as best I can. Right off the bat, I spin those 4 boxes because I'm able to do that and still catch the cycle I want by just being fast enough. But if you're having trouble catching a cycle, don't grab those 4 boxes. It's not worth it. I'm just grabbing them so that less fall in my head. That's the only reason. I love how it doesn't pause. Thank you, Twitch. When I was bouncing on those metal boxes, I released X a little early instead of just holding X down the full duration. So that way I wouldn't bounce as high and I would bounce off the next metal box a little sooner, which gets you to the top a little faster. Sorry, there's a cat. This is going to be really half-assed, but it's fine. The whole time I'm moving left here. Oh, I also bounced up and grabbed the mask. You can do that just with one bounce of the turtle. You just have to kind of center yourself under the box. Otherwise you'll miss. It's not that bad. You just want to be going left as much as you can and only releasing left right when you're grabbing the box. So that way you're moving left the whole time, or as much as possible. And the whole time I'm moving left, I'm jumping as much as I can and spinning the enemies. Okay. Here's kind of a hard spot to explain. I'm sliding down this slope as much as I can because when you're sliding down, you're gaining some speed. And then I even slide off the edge a bit and then jumps because even when you're sliding off the edge, you're still gaining that speed. But once I start going up this other side, okay, I'm glad I didn't pause. You're going to be wanting to do little hops up that entire, well, I shouldn't say little hops. You want to jump the moment Crash's feet are touching the ground so that way you're never getting slowed down by that sloped going the other way. Because if you walk on that at all, it slows you down a tiny bit since you start slipping to the right. So you want to jump like as close to the frame as Crash's feet touches the ground as you possibly can. And I do one jump onto it, a second jump to the middle, another jump to the top, and then I jump off the top under this spike. And if you do it just right, you'll be able to get under this spike without getting hit. Now, this spike isn't going like from the moment you enter the level. So if you like take forever grabbing the 4 boxes at the beginning, let's say, or you like have to bounce 3 times to grab the mask or something, you can still do this. Like you can still beat this spike because the spike isn't triggered until like you get here, basically. So no matter how bad the beginning goes, you can still at least go for this. This is the one thing that's not like a cycle that's going on the entire time. You can always go for this when you get here. It's the only thing in the level you can just always go for regardless of how the rest of the level went. But everything from here on out is going to be cycle based. You have to jump over that fire, otherwise you'll get hit. Here you just spin the logs and jump up as quick as you possibly can. Cut your bounces short if you can. I have to pause it again. So when you get up here, this fire should be down, like all the way until like there. Like you don't want to see it do its little trigger animation until you've already jumped over it. That's a visual cue that you're going to make the cycle underneath the spike that we'll be coming up to. So like even at this point, I already know that I'm going to be able to beat the 3 spikes on this layer just by that fire, as long as everything else goes well until then. So again, you slide down as much as you can on these because they give you speed. You'll jump over that. You can get there so fast that you jump over it before it even comes up and has the potential to hit you. But if you don't, you can still jump over it, even if it's going. As long as you jump just right, you can jump over that fire. And then again, this is slipping the wrong way, so you want to jump as soon as you can so you don't get slowed down. Here's when you know for sure if you're going to beat it, is if you can get over that fire and it like isn't even scary. If you beat that fire and it's not even that scary, like you beat it by a lot, then you're good to go. The hardest part though, honestly, is this stupid native. You want to beat him, you want to get past him without slowing down, like as fast as possible. So I do this. I've never actually looked at this paused. I jump into the box, and that way Crash's head bounces off the box down onto the native, which is a little bit faster than like jumping up really high and landing on the native. and then I can just spin immediately and go, and it's a little bit faster than, say, like jumping, bouncing on him, being next to the box, spinning the box at him at the same time. It's a little faster to jump into the bottom of the box and bonk him on the head real quick and then spin, and then you can just go like way, while the spike is still way up in the air. And this spike is not like the other spike. This spike was going from the moment you entered the level, from the moment the level finished loading. This spike started its cycle. So if you get here a little late, then it's going to shoot down and you won't be able to get under it. You'll have to wait on it. If you do have to wait on it, that's okay. You're just one cycle behind, is the way I think of it, which is about 3 seconds. But this is the important thing, is being able to get under here, which isn't that hard. Being able to get under there and over this one is a little harder. But the hardest part is definitely being able to get under that spike before it goes down. If you did everything else up to there, you should be able to, but it is very hard to get underneath that third spike. Like, you have to go pretty damn fast. If you can't make it under that third spike, you can wait, and if you jump underneath it at like just as it's rising back up after it shoots down and you're waiting on it, you'll be able to beat this fire still before it shoots up. You'll still be a little bit behind, like where I am, but you'll still be on the same cycle. You'll just have to skip the mask on the climb, and then you'll be caught up. But so yeah, if you can't beat the third spike, wait for it to go down, jump under it as soon as you possibly can when it's rising back up, and just beat this fire that's right behind Crash. Oh, you can actually see my cursor. That's convenient. Beat this fire. As long as you beat that fire, you can keep going. Jump over that native. Don't worry about killing him. You should be able to beat that. This is a strat I assume a lot of people know. You just run through the spike. You'll get iframes from getting hit by the spike. You can spin through the TNT while you have iframes, and then you'll be able to beat this spike as well. It's really important. That's why we grabbed the mask at the beginning. All right, here, I grabbed that box because I know I'll be able to catch the cycle still. You don't have to grab that box. And then here, I grab the mask. Again, if you don't beat that third spike, don't grab that mask. That's how you'll make up that time loss, is by skipping the mask. You'll still catch the same cycle at the top. Otherwise, you'll be a cycle behind, which is 3 seconds. But your Ripperoo will end up being only a second faster, or I think a second and a half faster, something like that. So it's worth it to just skip the mask and catch the cycle instead and have a slower Roo. Again, I was cutting those bounces short. Here again, I grabbed that box. It's just a little optimization. You don't have to if you're having trouble catching the cycle. Like you'll see, I'll probably just barely catch it because I did that. And you'll want to get here right as the fire is coming up and about to die. So I got here a little bit early still, even with grabbing the boxes. That shows it's not like a super tight cycle, but it's still pretty hard to catch. These fires are also going from the moment you enter the level and the level finishes loading. So from the very beginning of the level till now, these fires have been going on and off and on and off. And you want to be getting here right when it turns on, so that way you can jump in at the moment it starts fading out. Again, if you're late here, it doesn't make a difference. Say you get here in time to make it across. I'll show you. So the reason I wait is so I can get across all 3 of these in one go. If you get across 2 and wait at the checkpoint and then go, it's the same exact cycle as if you waited before the first 2 and then jumped across all 3. So you can like wait a really long time before and jump across all 3. It'll be the same cycle either way. So don't worry about that. Like if you can get across 2, go across 2. That doesn't save you any time. It's the same as if you went across all 3 and waited a little longer. If you go across all 3, this cycle lines up to where you bounce over the top, you wait there, spin across. And that wait there is why it doesn't matter if you get across 2, because you just have to wait longer there anyways. So I guess it's more down to preference if you have to choose, but hopefully you get there just in time like that. This spike's a little weird compared to the other spikes. It's also always going, but it's half as fast. So say I was a cycle behind, then the spike would be going down instead, and I would be able to just go over it, which doesn't save you time since you don't have to wait that long anyways, and you still catch the same fire cycle later. But this spike's weird. It's kind of, this spike is how I know what cycles I'm on if I lose time. So if the spike is down instead of up, that means I'm 1 cycle behind, or 3 cycles behind, or 5 cycles behind, or an odd number of cycles behind. And if it's up and I know I'm behind, then that means I'm an even number behind. And you can generally roughly know, like, how many, if it's 2 or 4 or whatever. So you just jump over that, go across fire, set on that, and you should be able to bounce up here in time. And then the rest is just a climb to the end. Just spinning them, jumping as soon as you possibly can. I spin all 4 of those boxes because it's really easy to grab them, and it's definitely worth it. And then yeah, that's the end of the level. I'll definitely watch this over and make sure it actually explains things well enough. I might do this again, we'll see. But hopefully that helps somebody. If there's anything that didn't make sense, let me know in the comments or something, and I'll try and explain it better in a reply, or if it needs its own video, I'll try and make a video explaining it a little better. But yeah, that's Native Fortress. Hopefully it explains some stuff somebody didn't know. See you guys later.